Because my combo heavy deck profiles have been doing so well, which I'm super grateful for, I decided that it would ultimately be a great decision to completely switch pace and bring you guys a control based deck. Jokes aside, I actually really enjoy both control and combo elements of Yu-Gi-Oh! Decks that reward good decision making are fun to play, even if it isn't as fun to go up against. Because of this, I wanted to profile my take on Guru Control. Guru has always been a deck that I've enjoyed playing and seeing grow in forms of tech choices and ratios. I think that it shines in this format as a solid rogue option and could even move to tier 2 with more representation. It has similar elements to Altergeist through easily established resource loops, but I personally find it better as there are a lot more diverse plays you can achieve. Before we get into the deck profile, I wanted to give a huge shout out to Pak. I really enjoyed his topping Eldritch list and some of the theory behind his deck choices. I believe that he has great insight and it inspired quite a bit of the way I play this deck. Please go support his channel, link will be in the description below. Make sure you stay for the deck profile and explanation of my building decisions. We start our Subterror lineup with 3 Guru, 3 Fiendus, and 1 Archer. Archer, for those who don't know, can spin your opponent's set monster back into the deck if you control another Subterror monster. This stops your opponent from being able to activate and resolve their Shaddolls or other pesky monsters we don't want hitting the graveyard. We opt out of playing Umastrix in this build because of its higher chance to brick. We want to open guaranteed interruptions, and drawing into this doesn't always make it live. The only hand traps we are playing is Ash Blossom, of course, besides our Fiendus, as it is the best generic hand trap in the game right now, possibly tied with Lancia in the side. Our spells start with 3 Extravagance and 3 Duality. We run a diverse range of punishment and waking targets in the extra deck, so we don't have to worry too much about a target getting hit. It's better to draw into multiple interruptions, which is why we assist with a higher trap count. Our field spells are 3 cities and 1 mine. I think that control decks playing field spells need mine as an alternative terraforming target. This has won me so many games to build back up resources and outgrind the opponent. Broken Line starts off our traps. This is where the inspiration from Pak starts showing. For those who don't know, when a spell or trap card, or a spell, trap, or monster effect is activated in its column, you can negate and destroy it. Going second, you can set this card in front of one of your opponent's interruptions to have an answer for their upcoming turn. Where it shines over Judgment is its ability to negate monster effects, but they are interchangeable depending on if you are going first or second. Dogmatica, Punishment, and Ice Dragon's Prison are high value interruptions that can deal with multiple cards. Punishment has a wide range of targets it can send, giving additional utility to play diversity. Prison is a Dragoon out, but also embarrasses Invoked and Dinosaur players equally. Degeneracy starts with 1 skill drain and 3 there can be only ones. TC Boo doesn't really feel like it needs too much explanation as it hurts some major contenders in the meta, but Drain certainly does. Some decks simply cannot play around Drain where ours can. Subterror Final Battle's 4th effect prevents the activated effects of Subterrors from being negated, so we can always activate this to avoid the Drain lock. Speaking of Final Battle, it has 3 other great effects. The first 2 change the battle position of a Subterror monster, and the third adds attack and the defense values to create a bigger beater. Another cool interaction that many people don't know or underutilize is that you can activate it and chain Subterror Guru's quick effect to set one of your opponent's monsters. Strike is in here because of its obvious strengths, but also assists us with breaking boards going second. Our last choice is Trap Trick, which aids in siding, but can also get either Punishment or Prison depending on which is best in the given situation. The side starts off with Lancia. Lancia is generically good against multiple decks, but namely Dragon Link and Dinosaurs. Though it might not be completely a stop to their plays, less interruption is easier to deal with. Ariel is a fun tech against any deck that relies on the graveyard, such as Eldritch. You can get her into graveyard by sending App Cologne as your punishment target. Next up is our Trap Trick targets. Witch's Strike is great for breaking hands and boards going second, as baiting an interruption is a pretty easy task. If your opponent uses a spell speed to negate, you can chain Trap Trick as a higher chain link to set Strike from deck, making it live in the next chain. Duster is here for the other back row heavy strategies, and Waking can close out games on its own. A cool interaction I've been doing since Lightning Storm came out is chaining Trap Trick to their Storm or Duster activation to set up the Waking. Of course, in the side we are happy to invite another Trap Trick. This just gives us more play diversity for different scenarios. To conclude the side deck, we have Solemn Judgment, which replaces Broken Line when going first. Our extra deck has some decently spicy tech choices. Apkallone was already explained, and Elder Entity and Omega are pretty well known for punishment targets. Wind Pegasus at Ignister can help protect your boards by using its graveyard effect, which shuffles a card your opponent controls into the deck when one of your cards is destroyed. This makes it a harder time for your opponent trying to attack over one of your gurus. I'm playing 3 Ultimate Falcon as a waking target, but also for punishment. Your opponent might use a boosted Makaba on the field or another high attack monster, so this doubles in use and can easily blow out bigger monsters. In addition, it is very hard for some decks to out this card. Last Warrior is arguably better though. Last Warrior prevents both players from summoning any monsters. The cool thing is that you can still set and use the Hidden City or Final Battle to flip your monsters face up, meaning its restriction is very one-sided. It's often an auto win. To conclude the extra deck, I'm playing 2 Nightmare Phoenix. This is just generic spell and trap removal, which I believe every deck needs to some extent. One of the things you guys might notice that is different about this build is I am not playing Dragoon, and there is a reason why. The Guru build that topped the Remote Duel a few months ago is playing 3 Fusion and the standard Dark Magician Red Eyes package. This is 5 cards in our deck, only one of which we want to draw. If you activate Red Eyes Fusion and don't draw any bricks, you'll have to keep a card in hand to make Dragoon live on the following turn. This leaves us with a maximum of 3 additional interruptions in the form of traps or Ash Blossom. If we are activating Dragoon each turn, we will always be discarding our drawn card, so it will be hard to maintain advantage against the opponent. Of course, this only gets worse if you open one of your bricks or a second fusion. Not to mention, in the grind game, drawing into a dead fusion can just be a game loss. Of course, this is just theory, but it is supported by the games I've played online. I see a higher success rate without Dragoon rather than with. It is something I highly encourage all of you to test if you are to test this deck. I'm going to be making a separate gameplay video for both this deck and Mech Knight Invoked. A lot of you have been asking for this, and I am happy to finally deliver. We are also very close to hitting our 500 subscribers milestone on the channel. I am so excited to hit it, and I am grateful to each and every one of you. Without your continuous support, I would lack the motivation to make these videos for you guys, and spend up to 8 hours editing and countless others reforming my lists. If you do like what I have to offer, please consider subscribing, but at the end of the day, I'm just grateful that you watched this far. Thank you guys so much for your time and again, your support. Until the next video, stay hydrated and stay safe. Peace.